Well, the trouble with coming on digs with people and they don't see where they're going is you fall over in a ditch and you're climbing barbed wire fences, dicky eye.
I've just gone down into the brambles.
I'm here. Dave's not here. He's got technical issues. But thank you all for joining us on our 250th episode of the Big Detecting Show. I'm privileged to be a co-host with Dave, and it's been a long time, and we've made it to 250. So thank you ever so much to all those who've supported us and watching us. It's not the end of the show. I'm just saying big gratitude and thanks to everyone. Dave's got some technical internet problems, but he will be joining us very shortly, I hope, because he was in a bit of a pickle just before the show. But I'd like to thank you all watching Nick West, Metal Detecting War Relics, Philip Wills, Andrew T. Thank you, Andrew T. in Canada, for getting our guest on tonight all the way from Canada, Laurie. Very excited to have her on and have a chat with her. We have Stephen Brame. Hello, Stephen, part of the Big Detecting Show family. Jim Panting. Jim, evening all. Ready for the off with a bottle of Merlot. I can't have Adrian drinking alone. No, Jim, that is correct. Wayne Atwill, Carl Ellis, and well, blimey, we've got a lot of people in the chat tonight. Selkirk Detectorist, hello. David Seymour, TC Detects, hello TC. Charlie Dreamer, hi Charlie Dreamer. And John Clayton in Devon, thank you very much. I will say Michael Jarvis, Charlie Dreamer, Jelly, Metal Detective. Good evening, legends. Thank you, Jelly. So, Donna Martin, good evening, everyone. We're having technical difficulties. Yes, I'm not at the pub. I wish I was at the pub. I've got a jacket on because I'm quite cold. Eagle Eye DJ, hello. And I will catch up with everyone very shortly. But been a busy week in the world of detecting. I think we're anticipating the HF2 coil from Deus coming out very, very shortly. I thought it was going to be, well, I thought I was going to get my one this week, but I haven't quite yet. Done the software update version 3, so I'd be interested if anyone's done that on their Deus 2. Little tip, if you're updating, if you haven't updated your Deus 2 yet to the latest version, and it isn't just for the HF2 coil, make sure you've got the mini USB to USB data lead that came in your Deus that no one ever uses. It's that silly little small USB, because that isn't just a charging lead, it's a data lead. And you need that to transfer the data to update your headphones on the Deus 2. If you don't update your headphones to the same as your machine, you won't be able to use your headphones with the machine. So prior to updating your Deus 2, which you can do with the 3-prong sort of charging lead, make sure you've got the data lead to go with it. TC Detects, Minelab are now selling at Costco. Yes, they are. And they're also selling at Go Outdoors as well. So quite interesting, actually. Very interesting. I think, as anyone, thank you, Philip Wills, happy 250th. We do have some prizes to give away tonight. We have a £50 Regton voucher, and we also have fines identified 1, which is £35, £30. Fines identified 2, which is £34, I think, and fines identified 3. So it's nearly £100 worth of books we're giving away tonight on the show. So that will be probably Adrian's wall and probably maybe a question from our guest, Laurie, who I will bring on now because Dave hasn't appeared. Laurie, hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Thank you so much for having me here.
No, thank you. What time is it in Canada?
Right now it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, it's not too bad. It's 8 o'clock at night at the moment. Laurie, are you on your phone? Have you got your phone? Could you turn it landscape? Sorry, and then we don't get. That's better. That's better. That's a lot better. Thanks, Laurie. Brilliant. So those who we have had requests to have you on the show, and kindly Andrew T in Canada put us in contact with you. But can you tell our guests a little bit about yourself and how you got into the hobby of detecting?
Oh, wow. All right. I think my interest really started when I was a teenager and I found a metal detector in my father's basement. At that time, I'm not going to age myself, but at that time, we didn't even have the internet. So I really couldn't figure it out. I just feel like I've been a treasure hunter my whole life, always looking for antiques. And when snow would melt as a child, I'd be searching the school grounds for anything that I could find. But I really got into metal detecting. I would probably say 16, I think we're at 16 years ago now. And it was just basically like an all-time interest, like from the time I saw my dad's metal detector, and I just always wanted to find some gold and some treasures. So,
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, how long? What what do you think encourages you in the hobby? Is it something in your family that you naturally? I know you said, was it your grandparent or your father had a detector?
yeah.
Have you always enjoyed like fishing or hunting or?
Oh, absolutely. Before I was even into metal detecting, I was doing a lot of camping and fishing, portaging on canoes and everything else. So I was always love the outdoors. So definitely, yeah, fishing. I did a lot of fishing as growing up at the cottage and all that sort of stuff. It was one of my favorite hobbies, actually. Interesting. I never really connected fishing with the metal detecting, but yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know about in Canada or overseas, but in the UK, a lot of people who go fishing go metal detecting as well. I think it's just that natural human instinct to find more as if you're surviving. Not that a gold ring will help you in the wild, but it will financially potentially. But yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? You're just encouraged to find more
It just
gathering.
I've always loved finding stuff. I just always remember getting really excited when I would find something, even if it was a penny. Even if it was a penny on the ground, I was like, oh. And I
Yeah, what so what sort of land do you detect on? Do you go on the beach at all or?
Well, I've past 3 years, I got more into the beach detecting as well. But prior to that, it was mostly forests, farm fields, these type of environments, old abandoned mines, lost flooded villages that are underwater that sometimes will get exposed whenever the dams will release some water or hold back water. Sometimes these villages that once was flooded are now exposed and stuff like that. So I did a lot of relic hunting. This type of stuff for probably, I would say, for the first 13 years. Then I recently just started getting into gold hunting, probably about 3 or 4 years ago. I decided that I wanted the challenge. I mean, I see people finding gold rings, and I'm like, I think I could do this too. And sure enough, I started going into the water, and I've been having a great time looking for jewelry now too. So I do, I guess, all types of detecting except for gold prospecting. We don't have a lot of that here, unfortunately.
No, we don't. Well, we have more in the field, medieval and Roman, than we do in lakes or rivers. What machine did you start off with? You said you found your grandfather's detector. What was that? Was it a Garrett?
I think the one that my father had in his basement was
Oh,
probably
clever.
back at the time. It was probably this Radio Shack type detector. Radio Shack was an electronics company here in Canada. And when they started putting out detectors, I believe they had their own brand. It was, I couldn't see, I can't for the life of me remember, but it was just a box with 3 dials. And I remember thinking that if I cranked all the dials up to the max, this was good, only to discover I had the discrimination maxed out. So no wonder I had no success when I took that out. I didn't even have a shovel with me. I didn't even know what to do. So that was an interesting experience. But I believe that was probably Radio Shack. But then after that, when I did purchase my first, it was a Garrett GTAX, I believe. So that was my personal first detector. I used that for about a year. And then a lot of people were telling me it's just not getting a lot of depth. I've probably been reaching 5 to 6 inches, and I knew I had to get deeper. So I switched over to an MXT Pro at the time.
Oh,
so
yeah.
White MXT Pro. I think I used that maybe 7 years. Maybe something like that, maybe about 7 years. And then I purchased so I really wanted a multi-frequency machine. I wanted something that I could do the water, because some of our relic sites that we had, there was also water short. And I was always looking in the water going, there's got to be more there, right? We're always dreaming. And so I picked up the MX Sport, I think it was.
Yep. Yellow. What's it, yellow?
Yeah, the White's MXT Sport. I struggle a little bit because I do like finding lead. So.
Oh, Dave.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yes.
Right,
Sorry.
apologies. And I might have to disappear again in a minute. Everything's gone Pete Tong. Hi, Laurie. Very nice to meet you. I apologies. Everything worked perfect this afternoon. And as soon as I come on at 7:15, all went wrong.
Microsoft update. Oh, yes, I've got one of those, but I forgot to put it on. I might put it on shortly. Sorry.
My PC's decided to now do an update. So that's going to scramble for the laptop.
That's Microsoft for you. Sorry, Laurie was talking about machines she's had. And she had White's MX Sport, wasn't it?
That's the last one, was the MX Sport. I was struggling a little bit of finding lead and different things. And I really was interested in the multi-frequency machines. So when MindLab came out with their Equinox, I think I was like the first one on the list in Canada. And I went for the MindLab Equinox. And I actually used that for quite a few years until the Manticore came out. Actually, prior to the Manticore, I was testing in Canada. So I had the opportunity of using it for about a year before the release. And ever since, it's been Manticore.
Yeah, because you're a Detexpert, aren't you?
That's correct. Yes.
How did that come about?
Well, it came about, I created a lot of tutorials. I created tutorials on the MindLab Equinox. I created tutorials on the Vanquish and the Manticore as well. But at that time, I did, I think, a series of 24 videos on basically simplifying them. So all the information in the manual, I basically created a tutorial to explain to everybody. So I basically simplified it. And I think a lot of people in the UK have seen some of my tutorials across the world, actually. So the tutorials were really great. I remember speaking with MindLab at the time, and they told me about the Detexpert program. I still didn't feel that I was ready at that time, because I really jumped into the technology of everything. I was really learning at that time. But about 2 years later, I said, yeah, I think I'd like to be a MindLab Detexpert. So I put in my application and it was approved. So I guess that's I also wrote a book as well on the Equinox. So it was an unpublished book that I give to people for free. I just wanted to write a book, and I did. So,
like you do. How do people get hold of that, Laurie? The book?
A lot of times, I have it on Facebook on my group called MindLab Canada Metal Detecting. But I also, people can send me an email at dirtyhands001@gmail, and I can send them a copy of it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so it was really based on some of my experiences, really the discovery of even recovery speed and, sensitivity. And it was basically like, oh, I'm struggling with this, and this is what's happening. So if I adjust this, this will help, So it was basically a book that was used real life situations to explain those settings.
Oh, it was a revolutionary. Well, it still is a good machine. When it came out, the Equinox. Sorry, you say what do you call it?
I know, right? A lot of people call it the Equinox or the Equinox, and
yeah, we call it the Equinox.
Yeah.
Well, it's whatever it is. It's still a good machine, and when it came out, it revolutionised detecting, and I think it still is the world's biggest selling metal detector. So
Did you go?
yeah.
Did you go out last week or so with one of the Equinoxes? Adrian.
Last week.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Laurie. Sorry. There's a magazine over here in the UK called Treasure Hunting Magazine, and I write for them, and I'm a field tester. And we realised that the Equinox 700 had sort of disappeared a little bit on the radar, because when the 900, 700, 900 came out, everyone upgraded to the 900. Yet the 600 is still a little bit cheaper, and so it's 700. And I took it out. I wrote a field test. It's in the magazine next month, and it's a cracking machine compared to the 600. For what you get the wireless headphones thrown in, and in the UK here now you get a free Pro find with it. And for the money they're charging, I had some really good finds with it, and definitely the reactivity and the recovery speeds are so much better than the 600, and the battery life and everything. So yeah, I've got 600, 700, 800. Sorry, not being big, 900 and a Manticore. The Manticore I like, but I think for some people new to the hobby, it can be a bit overly confusing, even though the interface is the best one out there. I think the actual interface on the Manticore is so simple, but if you don't know what you're changing and what it does, you can end up in a real mess. So yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. I mean, 100%. With the Manticore, like I said, you got to know what's happening. So you got to hear it. You got to hear, why is the detector acting unusual? And then that's when you know to adjust your settings and stuff like this. So I do feel that it's somebody who goes from the Equinox will definitely be able to jump into the Manticore without a problem. But a lot of people that are coming from different detectors might struggle a little bit, because you can make that Manticore as bad as you want it or as good as you want it.
Oh dear. You're right, Dave.
Trying to get the other one working because it's got all the stuff on it. I just made the mistake of trying to type on the PC keyboard and using the laptop keyboard.
Laurie, you've obviously seen Laurel and Hardy, haven't you?
I'm sorry?
You've seen Laurel and Hardy on television, haven't you?
I don't have television. Ever since I started metal detecting, I got rid of TV, and yeah.
Well, sorry, they were in the 1920s and 30s. Oh. It was a large gentleman and a small gentleman, and they were quite comical. It's a bit like me and Dave. There's always something going on here. Dave, I did say to Laurie, there's going to be some prizes tonight on the show.
Yes, there are, and obviously I came a little bit late, but it's our 250th episode tonight. Yeah, yours. Thank you to, obviously, everybody who watches, everybody who takes part, everybody who provides prizes, and everybody who watches the show and listens to the show, and more importantly, to all our guests, like tonight, Laurie. We watch your videos. Obviously, I've got a video lined up, the trailer to your new TV series, which is over in Canada, or Canada as I call it. So I'm going to slap my computer silly in a moment, but that's a different matter. In fact, I'm going to ignore it now too. Yeah. So yeah, we'll get on to speaking in a little while about Red River Gold, which looks fascinating. Obviously, over in the UK, currently we're only able to see the trailers or the bits that they put on the Facebook groups. So obviously we're hoping to look a little more in depth at that in the future, if we can get it over in the UK via Amazon Prime or whatnot. So obviously you've spoke to Adrian about how you got into metal detecting in the first place. How did you get into doing the YouTube channel?
Oh wow, yeah, the YouTube channel. Well, when we discovered a Victorian picnic road here, I mean, we were just finding so many of the older, that's older for us, is the Victorian era. in here in Canada. So we were actually finding a lot of stuff, and friends of ours were like, you should really record this. You know, I really think a lot of people would enjoy seeing it. So it was basically, I started my YouTube just for, you know, the metal detecting forum I was on at the time. And I don't even think I was on Facebook. And then when I joined onto Facebook, so it was really, I started it for my friends and a way to show people instead of just showing pictures. I thought it was kind of cool to see it, you know, so that's pretty much why somebody suggested for me to try it. I tried it out, and then I did that for, I think it's been over 10 years. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I think the best thing about your channel is you haven't got a gimmick. There's a lot of people from the US who have a gimmick, ladies who are scantily clad and such like. Yours is real. It's as is. And,
yeah,
and that's the most approachable thing for me to watch the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Just I'm just me, and that's what I do, you know. So I started.
I'm actually thinking about starting a scantily clad one myself, but that's
no, okay.
It started to become a lot of work, and then I started filming the TV show. So it was really difficult to try to keep up with everything because I'm gone sometimes. At one point, I was gone for about 7 weeks in a row. So it's really difficult to continue.
Wow.
Yeah, so I fly back and forth and stuff like this. So it was really nice to take a break from my YouTube channel as well. We did a few shorts, but who knows if it'll be continuing with YouTube or not. But it was a long journey, and it's definitely, I have a lot of respect for people who do it. I don't think a lot of people realize the amount of time it takes to create some of these videos. So I'm definitely very supportive to those people who do it, because you need a lot of dedication.
You do. I mean, I've said in the past, and so has Adrian, I can't abide getting my phone out or a camera out. I'm filming when I'm metal detecting. It's just, I like metal detecting, not filming. Great. If I go to a historical site, I'll make a documentary, but not metal detecting.
It can be hard too, because I get really excited when I see something in the hole, right? So the hardest thing ever is to stop and pull out the camera. It's like, you just want to dive in there and figure out what this is. So I think that was one of my biggest challenges, was like, oh, stop. It's like, got to get the camera out. Yeah, so it's been a nice break to have somebody doing all the filming and all the editing for me. So it's, and to see the results of the Red River Gold. They're just absolutely amazing, geniuses, their work. I think they put everything together very well, so.
So for those of you who don't know about Red River Gold, we've pulled, if I can find it, because I'm on my laptop and it's a pain in the bottom. We've got the trailer for it right about, where's it gone, Adrian?
I haven't touched anything.
Are you sure?
I tried to start the show, and I think I started the show correctly with some adverts.
I found it.
Okay.
For 150 years, a trove of gold coins worth $1 million has been lost. The gold was being shipped out to pay the soldiers who were deployed to put down Louis Riel and the Red River Resistance. But before the gold reached the soldiers, it mysteriously disappeared. And I want to find it.
Here's our Dawson Trail. We need to be right here, right in the middle of it all.
The gold could be anywhere on the trail.
I've got a signal.
There's something here, but it's worn right out. The terrain is very harsh.
One wrong step and you could be past your neck.
Oh, yeah, no. There is where X marks the spot. If we don't get this today, we've lost our chance.
Yeah, it works.
It's a story that has been passed down from generation to generation.
It's an honor. You're willing to share knowledge with me.
What is that?
No!
Oh. We're gonna keep searching until we've exhausted every possibility.
That looks good.
It does look very good.
But we can't get it.
It was an incredible adventure, I'll have to tell you. It's a documentary series, so this is all real. Like, I'm not an actress. I'm a metal detecting expert, And this is my role on the show. And what you saw there was really what I was living through. And where you saw the water and all the bog, that was actually, I think I was nervous because this is all bog. So this is all vegetation that floats on top of the water. So it may look like a field, but if you can step, and it could be like 8 feet deep. So one wrong step and you're gone, so I'm like, I'm going to disappear. So it was quite adventurous. And we did have to return in the wintertime, as you saw the other winter scene, to be able to recover the artifacts, because there was absolutely no way could we get in there in the summertime. So we had to wait till it froze over. Then we had to rescan to here and dig out what those signals were.
Where did you sleep, Laurie?
What's that?
Where did you sleep whilst you were filming?
When we were filming, they mostly had us in different hotels. So sometimes cabins and hotels. In this area, I do believe we slept on an island. And there was like a resort, like almost like an outfitter. So like a fishing cabin resort for some time while we were filming there. We did film in a lot of very remote areas, and some areas we couldn't even get there unless we had an Argo, unless we had to go out into the States, take a boat back into Canada. Like, it was wild. It was so remote. Yeah. So.
Wow.
Dream. Absolute dream.
Yeah. So there's at the time, the gold was worth about $10,000, and this is back in 1870s. So you can imagine now it's probably over $1 million worth of gold, and there were the gold coins. So it was the Woosley expedition. They were going to go and give the payroll in gold coins, but he never made it. Made it to Fort Garry, but he didn't have any of the coins because he said he was being chased at the time. So his story was that he threw the coins off the satchels, off the horse. So because the horse was being weighed down with all the weight to get away from the indigenous people that weren't too happy that he was there. But there's other stories that he might have hit it by a cabin on his way. So we've been really doing the process of elimination, looking for this gold, because no one has claimed in the area. No one knows of it ever being found. And it definitely didn't arrive at Fort Garry. So still out there. I'm sure it's still out there. Yeah.
So you didn't find it then? Sorry, not to ruin the series.
You know what?
You might have done.
So we are doing the process of elimination, looking for the gold. You brat.
Sorry.
You brat.
No, because there might be a second part to the series.
There is. There definitely is.
There you go.
We have a second season coming. So.
Yeah, that is amazing, isn't it? When you know history of treasure being lost and it's there and it's just under your ground. But the whole thing about metal detecting it, there is something there under the ground.
There's a lot of stuff that tie into the story. So we are finding clues and hints along the way. So we do find things that relate to the story. So we're able to tell more of the history as we go. And I have an archaeologist historian that's working with us. So we're documenting everything, and everything that we find is actually going to the Dawson Trail Museum. So.
Nice. On that note of archaeology, we've had American guests on the show. Probably won't anymore now because of all the certain things that have been put in place by Mr. Trump. We're probably going to have to pay a fee to have someone on the show. But in Canada, is it different in each state for detecting the laws, or is it the same in the whole of Canada? What happens if you do find a gold ring, for example, dating back to 1895?
Okay, so Canada does have a Heritage Act and a law where most of the things that you can find under 100 years old is fine. Any significant artifacts or anything do need to be reported to that province. So if I'm in the province of Ontario, if I do find something significant, I do need to report it. It is our responsibility. We don't have laws like you guys do and this whole setup, but definitely if you're finding something, older items, they do need to be reported. But mostly if it's a significant find. So if we do find, like, we'll say, if I do find this hoard of gold coins, it definitely needs to be reported to the Canadian government and will most likely be considered a Canadian treasure.
And what happens once that's been declared treasure? Does the finder get
Take
some
it.
money?
They take it. The government will take it, and we have. So we're not paid, not given anything. That's my understanding.
Okay. And with the word significant, we had our Treasure Act changed a while back to any fines that are of significance. What is significant in Canada?
Well, I'm thinking for ourselves, one of the significant artifacts that we can find is from the Archaic period, which actually dates like 5,000 plus years ago. So we do have a lot. We do have history here of man, and they did create copper tools. So if you find any Archaic period copper culture items, definitely that's something very significant. It's, you can't, it's illegal to go on an archaeological site of interest. So if there's any sites of interest in Canada, which really covers almost all historical sites, right? So we do have a lot of rules and regulations. Just like with this show, we do have a metal detecting permit from the province to be able to search for the lost treasure in regards, because it is more than 100 years old.
Interesting. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dave, is your computer using your microphone on your computer? Because it's making a lot of noises from your computer when you move.
It should be these.
No, it's coming from the computer.
Oh, I don't know. Right, hold on then.
That's all right. It's just, Laurie, of significant finds, what have you found that you've deemed significant in the recent years?
I haven't found any archaic, but my husband has. My husband has found a two-tang crescent knife, and we did contact an archaeologist. So the two-tang crescent knife, we believe, dates 3,500 BCE. So yeah, so we did find one. We contacted an archaeologist. We had a meeting. They told us to hold it in trust until somebody else was supposed to contact us, but they haven't. They still haven't contacted us, but they told us to put our piece in rice and keep it in trust.
Right. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realise there is a lot. We've seen in the chat, there is a lot of history in Canada, unlike down south.
Right. A lot of people don't realize that Canada does have really old history. A lot of people are like, you guys are so new. We're new to the new world, but, that we've had people following the glaciers for many years, and they made copper tools. And this is a lot of history that a lot of people don't realize that we do have in Canada. We have history that's older than the Egyptian pyramids, right? So it surprises a lot of people when I bring that up.
And you said your husband metal detects as well.
Yes, so that was a little funny because I really wanted to start metal detecting, and my first detector actually bought out of the trunk of a car in a parking lot. I thought it was so weird, but there was no stores around me that would sell them. And we went out to a beach, and I'm there, and I'm thinking every signal is going to be gold, right? Because it's all following in the gold range. I'm all excited. I'm pulling up bottle caps, pull tabs, you name it. He's freezing, his nose is dripping, and he's like, oh, this is so stupid, I'm leaving, I'm gonna go sit in the car. And I'm like, you're ruining it. He goes, no, you continue, I'm just gonna sit in the car. So I didn't really find anything, and I continued metal detecting for a bit. And then I went to my grandfather's farm, and it was a farm that was built in the 1700s. And I did find my very first large penny. So it was a very large 1 cent. And when he saw that, he was into coin collecting. So all of a sudden he put 2 to 2 together. You can find old coins with this metal detector. And then we were fighting over the metal detector and sharing it for quite a few years. And it was like his turn, my turn, his turn, my turn. And so we actually detected as a family, because we would bring our 2 young kids as well. And we did that for many years before we purchased all our own detectors. Now we have more detectors for everyone in the family. So
your kids don't detect, do they?
They did,
Yeah.
but as they got older, and if they had the option to stay back home alone, they would
Oh,
stay.
look.
So, they once in a while they're like, "Mom, can we grab one of the detectors sometime?" I'm like, "Anytime," but I haven't seen them do it yet, so we'll see.
No, it's only normal when you're young, I think.
Yeah.
Not, I had an interest when I was about 6 or 7 with my grandfather, but it would only last a couple of hours, and then I'd want to go off and build a dam in a ditch or something, So yeah, it's only natural when you're young, you want to absorb everything, don't you?
Yeah.
So
And
I
that's
mean,
why we would take turns as, Eric would be building a lean-to or a camp like out in the woods. I would be, we would take turns. I would show them the medicinal and medical plants that we would find. And we would even bring rope and a 2x, like almost like a 2x4 with 2 holes in it. And we would create a swing out in the woods. So we would just put it up in a tree. The kids would swing. They were having a great time. So
that's a good idea.
yeah, we did a lot of stuff like that. We would sometimes bring a tent and snacks and books, and they had like their home base and all this sort of stuff. So they would actually last a lot longer. Like we would bring a picnic, and sometimes we could last 6 to 7 hours out there with them. They would hunt for salamanders and butterflies and all sorts of stuff. So we have so many. I'll never regret doing this as a family when we started, because we have so many memories together. It was amazing.
Nice. I've just one of our viewers, Nick Berry, footprints found on Calvert Island, British Columbia, date back to 13,000 to 13,300 years. A quick Google, very interesting. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, that's interesting. Sorry, Dave, I've been talking all evening, whopping on. Have you got some questions for Laurie?
That's fine and dandy. So, Laurie, what machine are you using at the moment then? The Manticore?
Yes, that's correct. The Mindlab Manticore.
You'll have to tell me how to use it.
Oh, I have some tutorials, and no, definitely. I can help you out in no time. You'll get it.
Mine's been pimped. Purple pimped.
That's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Oh, nice. It's definitely really, a lot of people I find have a tendency of overcomplicating stuff. And I see a lot of people overcomplicating the Manticore. And the number one thing I have to anybody, a new user on the Manticore, is trust the depth and trust the default settings to start. It's just a lot of people think, oh, wow, I can crank this all the way up to 30. The thing they're not realizing, if they're on a property that has, we'll say like a farm field where everything's been cultivated, you have stuff really deep and very shallow. If you crank up that Manticore way too high, it's actually not even going to hear the stuff on the surface. You're going to be missing stuff right on the surface. So it's so important to respect the sensitivity. And I tell a lot of new people onto the Manticore, step back off the sensitivity, guys. The sensitivity is really an amplifier. So it's not only going to amplify those deep signals, it's also going to amplify all the falsing and everything else that you're going to be dealing with. You feel that it's a little shaky, unstable, just drop that sensitivity, and it's one of the biggest. I use sensitivity and recovery speed continuously on my sites. It's something that I'm adjusting. Some people don't like adjusting settings. They kind of put it in one setting and off they go. With me, I like my detector stable, and I don't like hearing all the falsing and everything else. And you can definitely get the Manticore being nice and stable.
I love it, and it just astounds me still, the most microscopic things I'm actually finding absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the smallest little pieces, it's incredible how small those pieces you guys can have. And yeah, you guys have a lot of small, thin, hammered coins, do you?
Yeah.
So those seem to be.
Adrian's going to show you one now, probably.
No, there's a Roman silver denarii, but I have got hammered coins somewhere. And they're not £2.
Come on, Adrian, I thought you're a biggie,
Well, there's
show your Roman.
There's one. There's another Roman, but it's a bit grotty. There's that one. I'll tell you what. Whilst we got Laurie on, I did a talk at a school last week. Well, 10 classes. Let's find a hammered for Laurie. Let's find a nice big one.
That's so
So
the oldest coin I've ever found was from the 1600s. So
that's how thin it is. So there's a hammered coin. There's one anyway. And then let's find something. Oh, sorry. Talk about. And then you
Are
got.
you wearing your big coat tonight, Adrian? Because it's cold in Canada.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that looks gold.
Yeah, they're gold. So, no, I'm wearing a Canadian coat, and then so this is very thin. So you can just see that's hammered as well. Sorry.
So you're talking 500, 600 years old there.
I'm randomly pulling mine 500-600 years old. Oh, screen's gone there. It's all going Pete song. And then you go to the
Nick Berry saying to show your fibula.
Those are the things they would strap onto their cloaks, right? It's like almost like
Yeah.
a cloak they would wear.
That's it, yeah. Adrian does get to find them.
That's Celtic gold. That's Celtic gold there.
2,000 plus years.
I would die. I would be like, wow.
Well, you got. So they're all.
Oh wow.
Yeah, all right, Adrian.
Yeah. But you find things like that, and then you find it's all in a mess because I had children messing with it. And then you get what we call Roman grots, which are grotty green Roman coins. And we find a lot of those in the field. But yeah, hammered coins. I am being cocky. Where I live in the country, you pretty much can find them. If you go out for a good 8 hours detecting, you've got like 80% chance of finding one. So medieval, hammered coins. So whatever you want to come over to,
you don't.
I hear people all the time this is on their wish list and they can't find them and they've been in detecting for 10 years and they haven't found one yet. So that's great.
Yeah, I mean, there's people who I know who've been detecting 30 years who haven't found gold. And there are some 10 years who haven't found a hammered. But yet I have found a lot of, I've found medieval gold rings. I've found gold coins, hammered coins, everything. But a Roman fibula, I haven't found one for over 6 years. And they're huge. So I can find a very thin hammered coin at probably 5-6 inches deep. But yet a fibula, which is almost the size of a cigarette packet, I can't find one. I find broken bits. But fibula is it's not a bucket lister because I found them before, but to find a nice one is what I would like to find. But then World War II stuff I love finding as well, which isn't that old.
Right. Whereas last week I showed one of my finds, which I come across, thought it was nothing, and a few of the viewers said what they thought it was. It turned out it's a something. A keyhole fibula, which I don't know if it's still here, but it might be in the other room.
I need to come down and visit you guys. I think I'm loving these finds.
Bring your husband over, not your kids. Bring your husband and
this is a broken bit here, and then it's got the opposite side on it there. And Donna did send me an image explaining it. Did I say that right, Donna? Keyhole fibula, and what era was it from? Because I know you're watching and I know you like to tell me I'm wrong. So Donna is our third host of the show, co-host. She'll be on next week with James Barnes while I'm on holiday.
Okay. Well, the oldest coin I found was 1600s, probably around 1642, if I remember correctly. So it was a French coin. I found that in the Maritimes in Canada. So that's pretty old for here. We do sometimes come across some Spanish silver, stuff like this, but really when it comes to the coins, I think that's probably the oldest you can get in Canada is around 1600s. I think there was one from the 1500s that was found in British Columbia. But besides that, or maybe in Quebec, there could have been a 1400s, but I think it's mostly 1500s. It came, the Nouvelle France came to, for Canada. So that's what I think. So the oldest one that I know that was found in Canada was around 1500. So I'm close. I got 1642, right? So it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's good
When
going.
you said Maritimes, what's the Maritimes?
So the Maritimes is the all the provinces on the east coast, north, south, east coast. So it's all.
So Newfoundland and where Oak Island's filmed, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Yeah.
Yes. So around there, yes. So it was out in New Brunswick, and I think Curse of Oak Island is out in the Maritimes as well. It's on one of those islands over there.
Do you know what my claim to fame is, Laurie? I've actually been involved in a TV series that was filmed in Canada for Canadian TV.
Really?
If you look up Ghost Cases, which was filmed by, it's a team from Halifax in Nova Scotia, Paul Kimball and Holly Stevens. You will be able to see several episodes from the UK when they came over here, looking at the paranormal in the UK. So great series as well, to be fair.
I definitely will have to look at that. And it's called Ghost. What was it?
Ghost Cases.
Ghost Cases. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's quite interesting because about a year ago, my son was sitting there and watching YouTube, and he stumbled across Dave's program on Canadian TV because it was a English country house and a ghost. And my son shouted, "Dad, Dad, Dad, quick." I ran upstairs. I went, "What?" He went, "It's Uncle Dave on the television." And it was Dave on this television program. It's like, I messaged him. I said, "What are you doing there?" He said, "Oh, I did a TV series," like he does. Very random. We did have some clips for the guests with highlights of the 250 shows, but it's too big to upload, Dave, unless I Streamyard it. But we'll do it next week.
Suss it out, yeah.
Yeah. Regarding tonight's prizes, before we forget, we've got Adrian's Wall in 10 minutes, which will be, I think, that book, a big book, Finds Identified 3, with all stuff in, and we'll also give you 2 Finds Identified 2 and Finds Identified 1. It's nearly £100 worth of books. The UK viewers only, I'm afraid, because of all the tariffs and shipping and Europe and everything. So UK customers only.
He's actually salivating now.
Yeah, sorry. But actually, I don't think Canada's that bad for sending. I've got to look into that. So nearly £100 worth of Finds Identified books and the £50 Regton voucher. Regton Metal Detectors really support the show. Thank you very much to them, don't they, Dave? They do a good job.
Yeah.
And
in fact, there's a lot of organisations, companies that do, but obviously too many to mention at this moment in time.
Dragon Detecting, Crawford's, yeah, LP. I was thinking, yeah, composite cleaning pencil. We can go on.
Dig Detectorist,
Dilek Nocta, Mine Lab. But what I was going to say, for the £50 voucher, to make it simple tonight, and because we've got a lot to get in the show, how about we ask Laurie to choose a number between a certain number and a certain number, and whoever guesses it in the chat wins the £50 voucher.
That's quite simple. So on your right-hand side of the screen, Laurie, you will see at the bottom right-hand corner, you should see private chat.
No.
Perhaps. Can you see the chat? Can you see the YouTube and Facebook chat on the right?
No.
No.
Okay.
No. All I have. you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. That's all I see there.
Have you had a message come up, Laurie?
No.
Comments? Okay. So
Right.
I think
Message me on Facebook, a number between 1 and 100.
Okay. I'll have to swipe. I hope I don't get rid of everyone. Sorry for the fingers.
Well, Adrian's gone.
Okay.
Where's Laurie?
So a number
She
between.
has gone as well.
Okay, so I can't see the screen anymore. I can't see anyone.
That's okay.
So I have to choose a number between what and what?
1 and 100.
1 and 100. All right. I'm going to choose my. Oh, okay. I'll let you know what that number stands for after. Now, how do I get back? Oh boy.
Look, that's clear.
I'm not really sure how to come back. Oh, there we go. Okay.
There she is. Well, hold on. We've got millions of people giving us the numbers already. Let me just go through them.
Oh gosh, there's lots.
No.
A special number to me, so.
No. Anyway, carry on talking, Adrian. I'll just watch them for a minute.
Yes, the £50 vouchers from Regton. Yes, I did, Donna. Yes, I did say it's from Regton. Laurie, when you initially started detecting, what did your friends think? Did they think, or are you renowned as being...
Detectorist has got it.
They did not understand it. They could not understand. And when I would explain it to them, they just couldn't understand how I could spend that much time searching for an old coin. Like, they just couldn't understand the hobby. So no, I really didn't have any friends except for Eric. So when we first started, it was just Eric and I, and then we started joining forums and going, oh, there's more crazy people like us.
Yeah, and it's growing, I think. Since lockdown, it's grown in the UK quite considerably. But even though... Sorry, David, did you say someone's won?
There is a couple of people, and I'm just trying to find which one is first. So bear with me, because... Carry on talking, Adrian.
Laurie, also, have you heard of Hadrian's Wall in England? Sorry, Dave's using his keyboard to hit the buttons, and I keep getting this thudding. The sound's not going for your speakers, Dave. It's going for your computer, I think. Don't worry.
You guys are so much
Is that
fun.
better?
I think it's because I got quite heavy bass in my earpod things, or whatever. How low can you go? We have this thing on the show called Adrian's Wall. So it's named after Hadrian's Wall, which is quite a historic part of Britain. I won't go into detail. And there's an artifact behind some squares, and each person in the chat has to reveal a square. And if they guess what the artifact is, they will win £100 worth of books. So we're going to do that in a minute. So you can watch and enjoy, like many viewers do. And every time it comes on, the viewer count goes up because everyone knows there's going to be a prize. So we will go. Shall I get on? Have we picked the £50 voucher yet?
I found it.
Who is it?
Three you've got it right. I thought it was somebody else, but I've gone up a little bit and I've found somebody else who's got it. And guess who it is?
It's not Philip Wills, is it? Oh, gosh!
Philip Wills. Proof that he knows everything.
You're not
can't
50,
even Google
are you,
that.
Laurie? Laurie, you're not 50, are you?
Yes, I am. That's why I chose
No
50.
way.
I had my 50th birthday, so yes.
You're the same age as me.
Congratulations. You're younger than me. I think Canadian diet is obviously healthier than the English one. Dave, do you want to do the intro? Oh my gosh, don't do it yet, because
Why?
I just put the answer up. I've hidden it now.
That's not like you.
No, it wouldn't be the first time. So feel free to do the intro, dear. Right.
Here we go. So congratulations to Philip Wills. We've got all your details already, obviously, because you were a winner last week, oddly.
And he's waiting for his hat.
Which has been, the details has been sent off to Jordan today. So, Laurie, normally we get somebody to pick a number, as you can see. Adrian's hid something behind the wall. So for this evening, you'll pick the numbers, and I'll keep my eye, because we've got a prize, to see who the winner is tonight. Philip Wills isn't allowed to win.
Okay.
I think he could, but
He can, but I'll ignore him.
They need to give the description of the artifact. No, the name of the artifact. It's quite a significant find, but it doesn't look like a normal one, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So, Laurie, it's over to you to choose the numbers.
How many numbers do I choose?
Just one at a time. And then obviously give it a couple of seconds between each, and we will see if anybody gets it.
So do I just touch the number?
No, you tell Adrian.
No, tell us.
I tell Adrian?
No, touch the number, then tell me the number.
21.
Ooh. It's not a fibula, and it's not a crotal bell, and it's not a gold coin or a horse stirrup. Laurie?
14.
It's not a sword pommel. It's not a pink panther. It's not a plate. It's not a stater. It's not a shield boss, and it's not a Roman Celtic brooch, a sundial, or a Saxon disc brooch. Laurie?
So do I just keep opening it up, or is there more than one?
Yeah.
Pressing it and telling Adrian the number.
There's other numbers to the left. It's got lots of pictures.
So let's say I'm going to go a little further from it. I don't know. Let's see 12 if it continues on 12.
I've no idea what a gold lunula is.
It's not that.
It's not a necklace, eye patch, Celtic moon brooch, circular brooch, necklace, ring, amulet, sword pommel, sun pendant. Laurie?
I really want to open one of these. Let's go 20. I need to see what else.
It's not a gold Bronze Age lunula. It's not a teapot. It's not a Celtic key. It's not Thor's hammer. Laurie?
Let's go with 22.
It's not a Saxon torque or an ear cleaner, a sun pendant, a sword handle. Laurie?
I guess we'll do the 13 to open that up more.
There are pictures on the left.
Okay.
It's not a woman's gauntlet, Celtic pendant, powder flask, woe grinder, herb crusher, wine decanter, brooch, snuff box. Laurie?
So 17. We'll open it up.
An earring or a toggle or a wine pourer. You just pick at will now.
Let's go 2.
James Barnes has got it.
Well done. Well done, James. This is quite a significant find, which was found, I think, about 4 years ago, maybe less. Might be more, actually. This is a bulla, an antiquarian Latin for bubble, large hollow pendant of sheet gold, which have so did he say bulla?
Yes.
Yeah. So the word pendant, someone might have said that, but we were after the specific term. So basically, I can talk about it lots. But
so the image that you can see, Laurie, that's in the UK. It's from the Fines Liaison Office, the Portable Antiquities Scheme. So everything that we report of consequence gets logged with them and goes onto a website, which is now in its probably millions of fines by people in the UK, and this is obviously the breakdown of what they've written about the buller.
That is so cool. I really wish we had this system in Canada.
That
So
actually,
if you're ever bored, just go onto it, the Portable Antiquity Scheme in the UK, and you can lose yourself for hours.
Wow. So you can see everything. So everything is published as well.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's excellent.
And that actually was valued at £250,000 English money,
which is about $300,000.
That's incredible.
There's an argument. Donna's having an argument saying it still looks like a lunula. Yes, Donna, but you're not allowed to play. And James Barnes, the winner, said he wrote an article on it.
Oh, there you go. Well, no wonder he won. But yeah. Oh, Wayne Rowland's in the chat. Hello, Wayne. Hope you're doing well. Stephen Brame, I have 64 items at the moment on Paz. Oh, I bet they love you. No,
I've got
it's good
stuff to take to Paz, and they are at my museum on Tuesday, and I'll be in a different country, Wales.
Yeah. Oh, why are you going to Wales?
Because I'm going to Porthmadog for 6 days.
Oh, that's where The Prisoner was filmed.
Yes, that's right, Port Merion.
Yeah, been there on holiday once. Never again. But yes. Yeah, Laurie, it's nice seeing the history we have. But everything's history, isn't it? Like you said, you find a penny and it could be 20 years old and it's still, who dropped that? Why did they drop it? And I did a talk at a school the other week, and we found a 1975 penny, and to us that's not a lot, but I then realized that's 50 years old.
That's it.
And the kids were like absolutely blown away, because it was in their play area, and they're like,
Yeah.
So someone who dropped that is now really, really, really old. And I was like, yeah.
I did the same thing. I was at a school last week as well, and it was really great. It was this tiny little one-room schoolhouse, and I got to teach them on how a metal detector would work. And we went outside in the playground, and we did find a few things, and they were blown away. They were absolutely blown away, the kids. And I just absolutely love visiting the schools and stuff. It's one of my favorite things.
It's quite interesting, because I did a talk with the editor of the magazine, Julian Evan Hart, and we did 10 classes throughout the day, each one for half hour, 40 minutes. And I asked the children who knew what metal detecting was and treasure hunting. And I reckon about, on average, 70 to 80% put their hands up. And there's a television. Have you seen? I don't know if you can get it in Canada. The Detectorists.
Oh God, that's the best. Yes, of course.
Yeah. So all
Laurie, it's true to reality in the UK.
I believe it, because we see that stuff here in Canada. So no, I believe it. I love that show. It's so accurate. It's great.
And children can watch it as well, in theory. And I think their parents had watched it, they'd watched it, and there were a few kids who said, my dad metal detects. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I took probably 5 or 6 metal detectors. I took a very basic simplex Nocta, well, it's not basic, it's a good machine, up to the Manticore. And do you know what machine they all loved the most? I won't say what it was. It was a Minelab machine. Which one do you think they all enjoyed using the most? And I don't know why.
The Xterra. Do you have the Xterra Elite? No, the new one?
No.
You've got an Xterra,
Equinox, maybe?
I have got an Xterra. Sorry, I have got an Xterra Elite. Yeah, that was there.
The Equinox, because it's just so light. No.
Manticore, because it's got a big thing in the middle.
The Vanquish. The
Vanquish 540. They loved it, and that's what they found the 50-year-old coin with. So yeah, and do you know, I still love that machine. I don't know why. It's just so simple.
I was blown away the first time I had tried the Vanquish. It was actually after using the Equinox, so I wasn't expecting it, but I was blown away when I used the Vanquish. I was like, wow, for what they call an entry detector, It was incredible. It was so fast. It had a lot of good speed. I loved it. It was simple to use. Definitely a great machine.
Out of all the machines I've had over the years, field testing, I reckon I had a higher success rate with the Vanquish. And I don't know if that's because when I got it, I thought, oh, it's not going to be that good. You know, do you know what I mean? It's for the level I wanted. And it just kept pulling stuff up. And it's so good. It really is a good machine.
Like Eric totally out-hunted me as well. I went out on the Equinox on a new farm field. Eric had the Vanquish, and he out-hunted me with that Vanquish as well. So I was just like, don't.
I think they've made a mistake with that. I think it had the Equinox 700 controls in it or something.
James Bones has just said about the buller that we've just seen. Did you know there is in places 9 engraved lines per 1 millimeter on the buller, all before magnification existed?
How the hell did they do that then? How did they?
Aliens.
Oh, yeah. X Factor. No, X Files. Sorry, not X Factor. X Files, yeah. Sorry.
So we Welsh coming on doing a song as well.
Sorry, Laurie, you don't know. It's a game show in the UK, X Factor. Okay. Whereas X Files.
It's a pop thing trying to get famous for your music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the X Files used to play when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and X Factor, I do remember that as well. There is a show, I think, called X Factor. They both sound familiar to me anyway.
Whilst Laurie's here, has anyone got any questions for Laurie relating to metal detecting in Canada? Not what she eats or what bike she rides or what car she drives.
Hey, Adrian, I tell you what we could do. Spin the coil.
Oh, this would be an interesting one for an overseas. Laurie would be the first person in the world to do it on the show from overseas. I don't think we've had anyone, possibly Australia, no, France, America.
And I've even got it lined up.
Right, Laurie, what this is, it's a spin the wheel, and it has random questions. Some are related to metal detecting. Some are related to what's your favourite sandwich or whatever. But Dave will get this up.
There it is.
Right.
So this is spin the coil.
Okay.
All the way from Canada is Laurie, and I think we learnt to pronounce your name properly last week. Is it Gagne? Gagne.
Yes, it's Gagne. So it's French.
Oh, it's close.
It's French, but Gagne is a very nice way of saying it. Thank you. I've heard people call me Gagne, all these different things, but Gagne is a very nice pronunciation in English.
Thank you, Andrew T. So, right. First question on spin the coil.
All right, what do we have?
Random question. What are your favorite style of socks?
Wool socks, big woolies, because I actually put them over my jeans and everything to keep the ticks and the bugs out from crawling up. So I like my wool socks.
Good call. Yeah. I don't like cotton socks. Dave wears silk ones.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty silly.
Another random one. What is your favourite egg dish?
Omelette.
Where did you come up with this one, Adrian?
Well, there's many to choose from.
Actually, my favorite would be omelets. Eric's, my husband's omelets. They're great.
Hopefully there's hopefully a metal detecting question in here somewhere.
Hopefully. I can see one or two.
One or two, yeah.
Come on.
Do like an omelette. Very nice omelette.
This is one. Do you detect in shorts or a skirt? Adrian, where do
Neither. I actually always detect in long pants. I've scraped up my legs so bad on raspberry bushes and thorns, and I can't stand the mosquitoes and stuff like that. So it's always in jeans. I'm always trying to protect my legs from the rough woods out there. So
Thank you for clarifying long jeans, because in the UK, pants is underwear. So that's very good. Thank you. Yeah,
I can only actually see about 4 metal detecting questions here now.
Maybe they've fallen off.
It's been so long that they've all fallen off.
oh my God, my cheeks hurt. There's this like.
What is the weirdest animal that you've ever eaten?
Oh.
Not a badger.
Oh, Canadian badgers. We've been looking at them today.
I haven't eaten weird stuff, I don't think. I think I tried ostrich.
Oh, that's nice. I've had that. Yeah.
It is.
Really, I think weird for me. I think no, I haven't really had the opportunity of tasting weird stuff. Maybe it's because I'm a little picky and I'm like, no, thank you, I'll pass. Yeah.
I'm going to have to digress a little bit and tell a very short story here now, because we mentioned badgers, didn't we, Adrian?
Yeah.
So I had to video call Adrian the other day because I'm walking a dog, and lo, I come across a dead badger. And me being quite upset, video called Adrian to show him said animal, didn't I, Adrian?
Mm.
The next day, our local community Facebook group, somebody posted on it, has somebody lost a dead cat? There seems to be one dead. I've never seen a cat like this before. It's quite big, but it's definitely a cat. How can you mix up a badger and a cat?
They're the size of a dog, for God's sake. Laurie, do you come across badgers?
No, I don't think we have badgers. I don't think we have.
I was watching videos on the badgers in Canada before, simply because you were on the show, and the American badger is making its way north.
Oh, it is. Okay, I haven't seen a badger yet, so in our neck of the woods, I haven't seen them. But that's interesting. There's a lot coming up north, I noticed, including the ticks. That's coming from back down there. Yeah, everything seems to be coming up north now. So.
Do you have bears? Do you have bears, Laurie?
Oh, of course. Yes, we have bears. We were escorted out of the woods once by a bear. It was, just huffing and puffing.
So cool.
Yeah, so it was kind of scary because we were in a really dense forested area, and I thought I heard a horse, and I was just like, how can there be a horse? We're nowhere near horses. And I guess it was just, we put two together, and it was just flapping its lips together. And we were like, oh, it's a bear. And we had our 2 young kids, and we were like, come on, guys, let's walk, let's move. And they're like, I've got stuff stuck on. My son wasn't really walking. And then Eric looks at me, he's like, there's a bear, move. So then the kids right away, we just all started walking, and we ended up making it to the car while the bear, we can literally hear him in the forest beside us walking and escorting us out. We got in the car, and I started laughing, and I just like, oh my goodness, look what happened. And I don't think it was until later that night that I actually broke down crying. I cried. I was like, oh my gosh, our kids were so young. And Eric's mother went and bought us bear bells to hold on to so we can make noise so we don't surprise another bear. But at first I was like laughing. And then it was only until the evening I realized, well, this could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
You worry about badgers.
Well, but you can carry guns, can't you?
No, unless you're hunting and you have a hunting permit. It's very, very different when it comes to. No, we're not allowed carrying firearms unless you're a hunter.
Now, this question is our first international question that person's been asked. On your range, on your oven, cooker, whatever you call it in Canada, in the UK, we have usually 4 points, the back 2 and the front 2, to put your pans on. What cooker hob? What position do you cook on?
Oh, a cooker hob. Is that a stove?
Yeah. You know when you do your cooking with your pan.
Okay.
And you've got your rings on the top.
I usually probably cook on the lower right first. The lower.
Yes, 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 yes.
Wrong answer. It's
No,
back left. It's safe.
No, Laurie, thank you. We've had this question on the show, and I think Canada, I've always said that one, and Dave has always said no.
The problem is, Laurie, if you're cooking and one of your children walk past and you knock it on the front.
Well, I never
What do you
had
all
the
do?
handle. I never put the handle sticking out. The handle's
No.
sticking in.
Yes,
But
exactly,
the thing
same
is,
as me.
I'm short too, and I got smaller arms, so I find I have to stretch over, so it's the closest one to me, and the handles are never sticking out. And even though my kids are 15, 16, and 18 and 30, I still don't do that. I'm in such a habit because people can walk by, and
How have you got children that old?
yeah, I have a 30-year-old. Yes, he's my oldest. Yeah.
Mind you saying that, so have I. I'm 50 as well.
But Dave, also Canadian kitchens are probably the size of English houses.
Yeah,
because our houses are very small. So,
okay.
Next question. I think we'll make this the last question on Spin the Coil. Let's be a
Yeah.
good. What is your dream metal detecting location?
Oh, I have a few, but I mean, going out and trying out a field, out in the UK and opportunities, of finding hoards or anything. I think that's mostly all detector streams in the world. I also have a dream of going to Australia to try to find a nugget the size of my fist. I am so I would say those are kind of the dream, I guess.
It's interesting you say that. I don't know if you're aware, but all the dealers are currently over at Mine Lab in Australia at a conference, and they've taken them all out nugget hunting, and they've all found gold.
I mean, I keep telling them, bring me with you, take me with you. I'm like, maybe someday. It is on my bucket wish list, though.
Leave it with us, and we'll speak to people in the UK with Mine Lab related and see if they can get you over.
There we go. Thank you.
We know people.
Well,
we do have a couple of questions in the chat from viewers as well. I thought you were going to ask one then, Adrian.
No, do you want me to read them out?
Yeah.
This is from David Seymour. What's your best find, Laurie?
Oh, come on. Everybody knows that's a really hard question. If it's for coins, I guess my oldest coin was my 1600s coin, but my favorite was a Vexador Canadiensis, which was a blacksmith token. And there was only about, if I remember correctly, I don't know if it's 200 or 400 minted. So it's a very, very rare coin. I think that one was one of my favorites. I have different relics that I really love. I've had a sword pummel, which was really cool. I found some trade silver. So back in the day, we had a lot of fur trade. So they would trade furs for items, and I did find some fur trade silver. I have like so many. I found a shako plate. A military shako plate from St. Croix Island, it all has to do with the slave trade, which sent me into so much research. It was like a rabbit hole of research, learning about the slave trade and all that sort of stuff. And I believe it was actually resembled a lot like the British style shako plate. So I was able to date it to that time period, right where the slave trade stopped. And that sort of stuff. So anyways, that was, there's quite my gosh, lots and lots of coins. I found lots of gold rings, a lot of, we found a gold cache as well that was buried intentionally. Somebody didn't trust the banks, and they left a bunch of gold caches and silver caches, and they were able to uncover most of them, but there was one they couldn't find, which was a large gold cache. So we did go and help them recover that. That was really cool to see. So, I mean, I don't know. There's lots of stuff, lots of stuff over the years. And
Adrian, road trip.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, a lot of
I
people
think
trust their banks, right? So they would actually change their paychecks into gold and save it all up in gold, and they would bury it in their yard. And they actually left almost like a treasure map in their will for their kids. So that was really neat.
that's bizarre. I mean, you say you'd love to metal detect in the UK, but your countryside, I love the English countryside, but Canada is beautiful, and the thought of bears chasing you and the lovely rivers and streams and lakes you've got, whereas ours are all polluted and full of rubbish, and you probably get stabbed when you're driving home in the UK at the moment because the country's in a bit of a mess. But Canada, when you go detecting, do you detect for a day and don't see anyone?
It happens. Like when I was detecting out in British Columbia in the old mine, the old drowned villages as well. I mean, we're the only ones there that we didn't see anybody. I actually saw more elk and deer than I did people out there, which is really beautiful. But like everywhere else, we have our problem areas in Canada as well. And we do have the cities, and this sort of stuff. But we do have beautiful lakes and rivers that are still very pristine. Our lake water at the cottage, I mean, I can see about 50 feet down. It's crystal clear. Oh, it's incredible. Like you can see all the boulders. You can see right through on a nice sunny day. It's very, very clear. British Columbia, the water is incredible. You could pretty much drink it out of the streams, in some areas. So we do have a lot of beautiful areas. I mean, if you look at our population for the amount of land coverage we have as well, it's, we have a lot of land compared to people. So, but we do have our cities and there are, some areas not far away from me where there's encampments and all the garbage is all over and in the river. And it's really sad to see, but I think everywhere has their beautiful areas and their other.
Yeah. Could I just ask one question? You might not be able to answer it. And it's been something, I saw a documentary on television about 30 years ago, and I don't know if it's Quebec or Canada as a whole. Is it they all move house on the same day?
They all moved out on the same day?
Move house. So move into a new house. So you sell your house and move in the same day. Is that in Quebec?
Usually not. Usually there's a transition period when you purchase a house and
it was a documentary I watched, and I think it was is it Quebec? It is Quebec, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it. It was a long time ago, and it's a thing. Everyone moves into their house they've purchased. I haven't been drinking lots. I watched a documentary on it. I'm going to Google it after this. Okay. I'm sure it was a thing. A city, they all move house on the same day and everyone takes a day off work, and it was in Canada. I watched it and I thought, actually, I've got a cousin who lives in Canada, Roger. He should be watching. And I've also got a distant family in Canada as well. So
the artist in Canada is about 2,000 miles, Adrian.
I do know that we have July 1st as one of the busiest days for moving, but it was mostly due to, I think, all the students and
it sounds about right. Yeah,
right, like the students. So at the end of school year, and military also, I think they move a lot of military at a certain date or something. I have no idea, but usually people move when they want to. They don't choose an exact date, but maybe somewhere in Quebec they do that, but I'm not aware of that. People buy and sell houses, and there's every day of every month, so
sorry, move on. My random questions. Couldn't sleep last night because I was thinking about that till about 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh yes, maple syrup. Yes. We have to thank Andrew T tonight for getting Laurie on, and I tell you what, we get a lot of requests from people, and we trusted Andrew T. And Dave, has he come up trumps? He has
Laurie, indeed.
Absolutely lovely guest, and
he was also big fan of Miss Detectorist, who we had on as well.
Who was on last week?
So Andrew, you'll have to get some more people on for us because you haven't got one wrong yet.
No.
Andrew's a sweetheart. Absolutely.
I love the way he flies all the way over from Canada to the UK to come on the metal detecting rallies, and he comes up to us and has a chat with us, and he kindly gave me a Coil Tech mug last year and some bits, and it's lovely. It's so nice, and it's great.
I think his gift of maple syrup it was like the best ever, because that says Canada. That just stands for and
I've
the hockey.
forgotten to put it on. Mine's upstairs. I wear mine. It's surprisingly cool, Dave, isn't it? I wore it last summer.
It is. The problem with mine is I'm very messy at doing anything, so I can't wear it that often because it would be wrecked by now. And it means a lot, this.
I like wearing mine going shopping because people go, because you get all blinking stars and stripes on everything now, don't you? But
I've got a professional ice hockey player who lives opposite, very good friends with his mum, and he wants it, but he's not having it.
No. Actually, I might wear mine tomorrow, and I'll take a picture and put it on the website. I might do that.
No, you won't. You'll forget. We're still waiting for your Christmas challenge.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, it's that time.
It is. Before we go, obviously, because we didn't get to mention at the start of the show, have a look for TC Detect's new venture, Metal Detecting News. Bulletin number 10 has just come out. In the process of sorting an advert for that at the start of the show, which will point you to it. It's currently got several competitions on the go, I think. Yes, it has.
Pinpointer, one of them.
Pinpointer and the composite cleaning pencil, as has Dragon Detecting have got a full composite cleaning pencil kit on their Facebook at the moment for you to win by doing certain things. Don't know if also we have mentioned or not that Costco in the UK, which I think America and Canada have got Costco as well. They're currently now selling a Minelab range, the Vanquish 540, 340, and Go Find. Oh, and the other prize on TC Detects is Metal Detecting News is a Digathon ticket.
Which is sold out.
Which are rare as rocking horse poo.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very. Again, apologise for my technical issues. I still can't get my microphone to work. Thank you to my computer for doing an update. Windows, we love you dearly. Laurie, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show tonight. It's our 250th episode, so thank you for making it something worth watching.
Thank you.
Yes.
And congratulations on your 250th episode. That's incredible.
Now you've got 250 episodes to watch.
Yes, exactly. I definitely. I mean, you guys have been so great, so entertaining. I mean, my cheeks still hurt from smiling this whole time. It's been an absolutely amazing experience. Thank you.
Well, you're more than welcome to come anytime if you have any updates on your own channel or Red River Gold, which we do hope to see in the UK sooner rather than later. So go and give your contacts in the production company a bit of a kick and say people in the UK want to watch it.
Actually, they are trying very hard to get it internationally. So it might actually just happen sometime in the future, but they are working on it to get it international.
I do hope so. And we won't ask you if you have found any gold coins or not.
No, second episode. No.
Right. We'll be back next week. I won't. It'll be Donna and Adrian, and they will be joined by the lovely James Barnes, who will be talking his geophysing and metal detecting and such like. And hopefully I might be able to send a little beach video in of me finding absolutely sod all. So again, Laurie, thank you very much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Lovely to meet you, Laurie.
And we will speak to you very soon, no doubt. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all for bearing with us and sticking with us for 250 episodes. Tell your friends. We want more than 8 viewers from now on. Be very nice.
5. Yeah.
Have a good week, everybody, and good luck
Thank
in your
you.
detecting. Good night, everyone. Good night, Laurie.
Bye, Laurie. Bye, Laurie.